Folks, we need to talk very seriously about a stock. If you don't get into the stock early, you could be left behind. I don't want you to be left behind in the dust, but you have to pay attention. The stock has fresh contracts with the US military, has fresh contracts with Homeland Security, is led by a former Trump cabinet member, is expanding its business rapidly, and as we'll get into, has 10x potential when comping to its peers, and we're looking at future sales numbers. We are talking about a $6 stock with massive potential. It's also got a strong balance sheet with virtually zero debt. So in today's video, we're going to break down the case for this stock, some of the risks you may want to consider, the pros and the cons, the bulls and the bears, etc., and you be the judge. As always, this is not financial advice. Don't do the frisky unless you are willing to take that risky. Folks, if you are new to the channel, welcome. We cover stock news, and economic information that you should be aware of. All I ask in return is that you hit that beautiful like button, subscribe to the channel as well. We try to do the best job that we can, give you the most relevant and useful stock market content so you can get to the next level of your stock market journey. Okay, let's get into it. But actually, folks, before we get into it, we have to go over a few other stocks. These are just stocks that are important right now. They're very topical, very relevant. You got to know about them. We got to run through updates real quick on some plays. So, real quick, we got to start with SLV, iShares Silver's Trust. Now, folks, the thesis on silver continues to play out very strongly right now, and shout out to everyone who has been writing this one, but you got to understand that silver is going to be relevant throughout 2026. Silver has been going on a beautiful rally. We talked a little bit ago about China restricting silver exports, which has major impacts on the world, including the US, but the US still does rely on silver. 3 reasons why it is still very important for 2026. Number 1, AI infrastructure demand. Silver is the best conductor of electricity on Earth, and every AI data center, every GPU, every server rack needs it. The industrial demand story here is very real. Number 2, supply deficit. So 70% of silver production is a byproduct of other mining. So they can't just turn on more supply. The market has been in deficit for years, and it's been getting worse because of recent China restrictions. And number 3, arguably the most important reason, the dollar debasement thesis. With the government spending like crazy and the Fed in a tough spot, hard assets like silver are going to continue to be one of the best hedges against inflation. Next, we got Kratos Defense, KTOS. We talked about this one in the last video, folks. I really think this is a good one. Quick review, Kratos is a military technology company with manufacturing concentrations in weapons and military electronics. Customers include the US federal government, foreign governments, commercial enterprises, and state and local agencies. So far, it's been a great year for Kratos. Now, I believe the story here is just getting started. What do? Well, Kratos builds unmanned drones that fly alongside fighter jets like the F-35, hypersonic missile systems, and satellite communication technology. Reason for this is I'm very bullish on defense stocks, especially as the world turmoil heats up. Kratos is basically building the future of warfare. They got the Valkyrie program. Kratos just won a Marine Corps contract with Northrop Grumman to deploy their Valkyrie drones alongside manned aircraft. This is the collaborative combat aircraft concept that the military is all in on. Number 2, hypersonic expansion. They're building a massive 55,000 square foot facility in Maryland specifically for hypersonic testing tied to a $1.4 billion contract. Number 3, defense budget tailwinds. The government just proposed expanding the defense budget to $1.5 trillion by 2027. Kratos is positioned right in that sweet spot of where that money is going. Drones, hypersonics, the advanced military communications. One more play we're going to talk about here, folks, is SMCI, that is Supermicro Computer Inc. Beautiful setup here, folks. SMCI was hated for many months. There were accounting concerns, margin compression. Lots of folks were bearish and hesitant on buying that stock. Now, last week, it went straight up 11% in a single day, which was because of renewed sense of optimism for AI demand. Now, it's still going back and forth a little bit, might go up or down in a moderate fashion given the day. However, in 3 or 4 months from now, you might be looking back at, oh, I should have bought it at that price. So why is this? Now, SMCI, the AI infrastructure thesis, is alive. When Taiwan Semiconductor announced the other day that they're hiking CapEx to $56 billion, the market realized, look, AI demand is not slowing down, and SMCI is really the pure play on AI server infrastructure. Number 2, they got the liquid cooling dominance. This is a big deal. As the AI chips get more and more powerful, they need better cooling, full stop. They call SMCI the liquid gold standard for a reason, folks. SMCI is a massive player in terms of getting those AI chips cooled down so they can be used. They also had a valuation resets. The stock got cut in half from its highs. It's now trading at less than 1x sales with a $13 billion backlog. Analysts have a $47 to $48 price target, and that's a 50% upside from here. A huge balance sheet improvement as well, folks. They just secured a $2 billion credit facility. Folks, SMCI had major drama in summer of 2024. There was a report in August 2024 that alleged accounting manipulation by SMCI. However, it's 2026 now. The accounting drama is way behind them. The company is executing. It's actually a massive play because a lot of people think they still have issues, but they don't. They got a new accountant. They made good on their accounting. Short sellers say it's a scam, despite the numbers looking absolutely positive. Personally, folks, I think this is an arbitrage opportunity, and I believe the stock will age to be a very good buy at today's prices. SMCI could be an amazing play right now. Okay, now that's $6 stock we've all been waiting for. Folks, this is a $6 AI stock that a former Trump cabinet member has as its CEO. It literally just landed contracts with the Department of Homeland Security as well as the US military. It is sitting on nearly $500 million in cash with virtually no debt, and it is currently trading at a fraction of its nearest competitor. Well, that, folks, is BBAI, BigBear.ai. Now, BigBear.ai is not your typical AI company. This company makes mission-critical AI systems for the government and the defense sector. We're talking about AI that helps the military make decisions, AI that processes biometric data at airports, and AI that secures our borders. The company operates through what they call the 3 AI modules: observe, orient, and dominate. Their systems ingest massive amounts of data, identify patterns and threats, and help predict outcomes in real time. Now, their biggest contract is with the US Army's Global Force Information Management System, basically AI software that ensures our military is properly equipped and resourced for any mission. Big example here, folks. The US just captured Maduro, who was the leader of Venezuela. A lot of people were confused on exactly how the US was able to do that. It's coming out now that there was some kind of weird weapon or weapons that the world doesn't know about that the US had and used. But a lot of people were very, very confused about how the US military was able to go into Venezuela, get past their missile defense systems, and get hundreds and hundreds of guards without a single American casualty or a single one of our helicopters or equipment being destroyed. Well, the reason is because the US has the best technology, but a lot of people know that, but they also have the best data systems. And whoever has the best data systems, the best AI to figure out exactly how to send the ships in and the planes and the drones and whatever else they're using, they're the country that is going to dominate. US military uses a number of different systems, but also uses BigBear.ai for different areas of their infrastructure. And on top of that, folks, they also do airport security with regards to facial recognition and biometric processing. So if you've gone through customs recently and it felt faster, there's a pretty decent chance that BigBear.ai was involved. Now, last year, BigBear.ai brought in a new CEO, Kevin McAleenan. Now, this is where you really need to pay attention, folks, because this hire was a very big deal. McAleenan was not just some government employee. This man was the acting Secretary of Homeland Security under Trump's first administration up until 2019. So before that, he was the commissioner of the US Customs and Border Protection, meaning he literally ran border security. Think about that for a second, folks. The guy who used to command Border Patrol, ICE, TSA, Secret Service, FEMA, Customs, the entire Homeland Security apparatus of the United States, is now the CEO of the $6 AI stock. And with Trump back in the office pushing hard on border security and defense spending, well, you've got a CEO with the direct phone number to the people writing the checks. This isn't some random tech bro that operates on vibes. This is the guy who knows exactly how the government contracts work because he was the one that used to give out those contracts. So what is happening since he took over? Well, the company just secured fresh digital ID and biometric contracts with the Department of Homeland Security, his old department. They landed a modernization project for the military's Orion Decision Support Platform, so more defense revenue is coming. They're partnering with companies like C-Speed for AI-powered border security and threat detection. And folks, this is really what you could call American state capitalism playing out in real time. Some say crony capitalism, others say this is just a natural order of things that the former Trump DHS secretary now runs a military AI company used by the DHS under what happens to be the second term of the same president. Who knew that would happen, but it happened. The government is pouring money into the private sector, in this case domestic AI capabilities, and BigBear's position is currently one of the main providers. Okay, let's talk numbers and valuation. So across the media, there's been one big sticking point, and that actually has a lot to do with why the stock is such a good deal right now. And that's the fact that in 2025, they saw a 16% dip. Wall Street and short sellers are trying to make the case that this means the company is 100% flailing out and will be obliterated. However, it's actually the opposite. The federal government spent 2025 modernizing its infrastructure and reviewing all of its contracts. That started partially with DOGE, that is Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, but there also was a massive rush to modernize all of the different contracts and overall infrastructure in order to make sure that they're only using contracts that were 100% necessary. Short sellers were fear-mongering and saying that BigBear.ai was going to be completely ripped apart by this modernization and that it was just useless, and of course they were wrong. Now, just a quick note, folks, a lot of bears do fearmonger on certain stocks, not because they actually think the stock is going down, but they'll capitalize on any negative news for a financial incentive for them to get you out of the stock. It's a way for them to make more money. So the modernization, it's all done, and these contracts that were paused temporarily, now they're resuming. So now guess what? They're fresh. Yet the markets still continue to talk about 2025 as the year that BBAI failed and failed miserably. Again, dumb, stupid, and a massive scam narrative. And this is exactly what happened with BigBear.ai. They used the whole year of 2025 to completely transform the company in a positive way. They did a new acquisition, Ask Sage, which is a $250 million generative AI platform built specifically for classified government work. They built out a new balance sheet. They wiped out $125 million in debt and stacked up $456 million in cash. So their financial foundation is completely different right now than before in a very, very positive way. Bigger picture here, folks, the stock is priced as if 2025 was a disaster year, but that really is an extremely good opening to buy into the stock right now. The company has entered 2026 stronger than ever. That's a huge disconnect, big opportunity, massive opportunity, in fact. Okay, let's talk about the catalyst to watch for 2026. What could send the stock higher? Well, let me give you a catalyst checklist. So number one, border security spending. The current administration is laser focused on border enforcement. Big Bear's biometric and surveillance AI is directly in the crosshairs of increased government spending. This is likely to continue. Number two, defense budget expansion. So we are seeing bipartisan support for increased military spending. This is in part because of that world turmoil that we mentioned earlier in the video. And BigBear.ai's decision support AI for the Army could see expanded deployment. Number three, the Ask Sage integration. This is a huge deal, folks. The acquisition here brings generative AI capabilities to BigBear.ai's government customer base. If they can cross-sell this effectively, well, this could be a very meaningful revenue driver. And number four, we have commercial expansion. So right now, Big Bear is heavily government dependent, but they're opening offices internationally, including Abu Dhabi, recently partnered with the New England Patriots and Kraft Group for AI initiatives. It's good to be diversifying a little bit outside of the government, folks. That just means that the company is expanding. In diversifying beyond the government in the private sector, that's actually going to be a very good thing for the stock. And number five, we have margin improvement. The company's been running negative EBITDA, but as revenue stabilizes and the acquisition integrates, there's a path to profitability that could re-rate the stock much, much higher. Bigger picture, folks, I think this is a great time to get in for two reasons. Number one, the fundamentals beneath the company itself are great. And also number two, it's trading at a great price in terms of entry and in the range it's traded in the last couple of months when you're looking at the chart. Now, the stock tends to go up and down massively. It tends to do badly when rates are high, and right now rates are high, but they're going down. So if they go down further, which they will, you have a very good tailwind here. Now, when rates start going up again, all of a sudden BigBear.ai is at risk. You're going to see possibly of dropping again. And this is a company that you're really going to have to look at. You're going to have to consistently build conviction on. You can't just buy it and forget about it. You're going to have to look at this from the bigger picture long term. Anyways, folks, that wraps it up for now. We got a quick video on one particular stock here. We went over the bull case, the bear case, why you may want to get in on it now, what to look forward to in 2026. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to hit that beautiful like button as well as that ravishing notification bell. Stay safe out there, traders, and I will see you in the next video.